Turn on subtitles for better understanding. Buddhism began in India more than 2,000 years ago. It was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha. His teachings about peace and wisdom soon reached far beyond his homeland. At first, Buddhism spread slowly through northern India. Monks traveled from city to city teaching compassion and balance. They built small communities called monasteries to share their way of life. Trade routes helped the religion grow. Merchants carried Buddhist ideas along the same paths as spices and silk. The message of kindness traveled with goods across mountains and deserts. The Silk Road became a bridge for Buddhism. Monks and traders shared stories and scriptures with travelers. Temples appeared near resting places. Faith moved with people and culture. Buddhism reached Central Asia first. There, it mixed with local traditions. Artists painted Buddha's image on walls. These early artworks helped people understand his peaceful message. From Central Asia, Buddhism entered China. It arrived around the 1st century AD. Chinese scholars studied the new teachings carefully. They translated sacred texts into Chinese. At first, Chinese people found it strange and foreign. But they liked its message of harmony and balance. Slowly, Buddhism became part of Chinese spiritual life. Monks built temples and statues of the Buddha. These places became centers of learning and meditation. People came to pray, study, and find inner peace. Chinese emperors supported Buddhism because it promoted order and calm. They helped build large monasteries. Monks advised rulers on moral values. Religion and politics worked together. Buddhism mixed with Chinese ideas like Confucianism and Taoism. This created new schools of thought. Harmony between nature and spirit became important. The faith adapted to local culture. Art and literature flourished under Buddhist influence. Painters showed the Buddha surrounded by light. Poets wrote about peace and wisdom. Culture grew richer through faith. From China, Buddhism spread to Korea. Korean monks traveled to learn from Chinese teachers. They brought back texts and rituals. Temples appeared across the Korean peninsula. Korean kings supported Buddhism as a symbol of unity. Monks taught people to live with kindness. The religion became part of daily life and royal ceremonies. Beautiful temples were built in Korea. They stood on mountains and near rivers. Artisans carved statues and painted murals of the Buddha. These works showed devotion and skill. From Korea, Buddhism reached Japan. It arrived around the 6th century. Japanese rulers welcomed it warmly. They saw it as a path to wisdom and social harmony. In Japan, Buddhism mixed with Shinto, the native religion. People honored both spirits and the Buddha. This blend created a unique spiritual tradition that still exists today. Japanese monks studied meditation and self-control. They built peaceful gardens and quiet temples. Nature became part of spiritual practice. Silence was seen as sacred. Zen Buddhism grew strong in Japan. It taught that enlightenment comes through deep meditation. Monks sat for hours in silence, seeking truth within their own minds. Zen art became famous for simplicity. Brush paintings showed mountains and trees with few strokes. The beauty was in emptiness and calm. This art inspired people worldwide. While Buddhism spread east, it also moved south. Traders and monks carried it to Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. There, it took root deeply and became part of daily life. In Sri Lanka, Buddhism became the main religion. Monks preserved ancient texts and built great temples. The island became a center of learning for all Buddhist traditions. From Sri Lanka, Buddhism reached Myanmar, Thailand, and Cambodia. It followed trade routes and royal connections. Kings supported monks and built golden pagodas everywhere. In Thailand, Buddhism became the heart of culture. Monks taught children and guided communities. Temples stood at the center of villages and cities alike. Thai art and architecture reflected Buddhist values. Statues of the Buddha showed peace and kindness. Pagodas rose toward the sky like symbols of enlightenment. In Myanmar, Buddhism shaped daily life and festivals. People offered food to monks each morning. This act of generosity strengthened community and faith. Cambodia embraced Buddhism through its kings. The famous temple Angkor, what was first Hindu, then Buddhist, its carvings tell stories of faith and human devotion. In Laos, Buddhism blended with local beliefs. People honored spirits and the Buddha together. This mix created a gentle, tolerant culture focused on respect and balance. Vietnam also welcomed Buddhism. Chinese monks brought teachings during ancient times. Vietnamese people adapted them to their own traditions and customs. Pagodas appeared across Vietnam's landscape. They became places of peace and reflection. Monks taught compassion and mindfulness to villagers and travelers alike. Buddhism in Southeast Asia focused on community and kindness. People believed helping others brought good karma. This idea shaped social life and moral values. Monks played an important role in education. They taught reading, writing, and ethics. Temples were not only spiritual centers but also schools for young minds. Festivals celebrated the Buddha's birth and enlightenment. People lit lanterns and offered flowers. Music and prayer filled the air. Faith united entire communities. Over time, different forms of Buddhism developed. Theravada spread in the south, Mahayana in the north. Each had unique practices but shared the same message of compassion. Theravada Buddhism focused on the original teachings of the Buddha. It valued meditation and discipline. Monks followed simple lives devoted to study and reflection. Mahayana Buddhism encouraged helping others reach enlightenment. It taught that everyone could become a Buddha. This idea inspired art and stories about mercy and wisdom. Both traditions respected peace and understanding. They taught that life is full of change. Accepting this truth brings freedom from suffering and inner calm. Buddhism continued to spread through pilgrimage and travel. Monks visited holy sites and shared teachings. Their journeys connected cultures across Asia for centuries. Today, Buddhism remains strong in East and Southeast Asia. Temples stand in cities and villages. Millions follow its path of peace and mindfulness every day. Its influence can be seen in art, language, and daily habits. People still meditate and seek balance. The Buddha's message continues to guide hearts and minds. From India to Japan, Buddhism built bridges of wisdom and compassion. It united cultures through peace. Its journey across Asia shows how ideas can change the world.